Week 11 with the highest passer rating in the entire NFL. Dak Prescott held just 28 of 43 passing for 216 yards. He did not have a passing touchdown, but he did have a couple of interceptions in the 19-9 loss to Kansas City. Let's go back out to Arrowhead Stadium and hear from QB1 after the loss.
Can you start by talking about your inability to get anything going offensively tonight and what the issues were?
Yeah, I mean, you just said it there. It was tough to get in a rhythm, throwing the ball, running the ball. Neither were working for us early or really any point of the night. When you're playing on the road and you're struggling to do that, I mean, it's tough to win. It's a great environment. It's a good team we just played. And yeah, sure. I mean, I'm pissed when I don't play well, or the team doesn't play well, or the offense doesn't play well for the fact of tonight in general. But especially when you have a great opportunity to come out and play against a team that's been in the Super Bowl the last 2 years and really prove it to ourselves, prove it to one another what we're capable of. And short week, we got to put it past us. We know the stretch ahead, so there's a lot that we can learn from tonight. And this is a resilient team that's going to continue to fight and get better. I can promise you that.
You talked about that, trying to prove to yourself that you can play with this team. You want to be in the Super Bowl like the Chiefs. How disappointing to come out and play the way you played, especially early. You guys couldn't get anything there.
Yeah, it sucks, but I tell you, we're a confident group, and the defense did plenty enough for us to come and win this game. And so, the offense didn't get the job done. That starts with me, and it starts with the way that we communicated and executed. So, I've got a lot of confidence in this group, and as I said, we're a resilient group that will get better. So there's no worries or no discouragement on what our future holds. So, as I said, we just got to learn from this and make sure that we take advantage of an opportunity on the road against a great team like this the next time.
How surprised were you about the issue you had up front, especially getting the ball going on the run game and you guys?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean it's a good D line. I mean Chris Jones is a great player over there along with the rest of the guys, and they did a good job, and they got us tonight. They got the best of us. I think it started up there, but started in our communication and us just executing out wide when we had a chance to make plays, missed a throw early, did make some catches. So, I mean, all of us can take part in this loss and be accountable for everything that happened out there.
There wasn't much passing or offense on either side. Certainly most of the yards were underneath. The wind, was that a factor in the game?
No, I don't think so. I believe in my arm being able to throw in the wind or with the wind, whatever it is. I'm sure the other guy on the other side thinks the same. So I don't think either team worried about the wind. It's just kind of the way the game unfolded.
The interception in the end zone, did you not get enough air on it? Do you want to get it deeper? What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to look at it. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to give my guy a chance. So, I mean, I'm not going to regret making that decision. But, yeah, as you said, I mean, maybe I got to look at it and say get more air under the ball. Maybe put it in the back corner in the end zone. I mean, I think the defender did a good job shielding our guy off. And I'm sure CD wants that back as much as I do. So.
How difficult was it to see CD hurt? And have you had a chance to talk to him since the concussion?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him. He said he was fine, said he will be okay. So I didn't necessarily know what was going on. But that's kind of the nature of this. You got to continue to move on, trust the guys that we got out there, and that's what I did. And he'll be fine, so we'll be okay.
How much does it hurt not having Amari for 2 games, in part because of the decision he made?
I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate not having him, but to say the decision he made, I mean, me vaccinated, I can get it and be out 2 games. So let's not try to knock the guy or put the guy down for a personal decision. I pretty much would. I don't know if there's anybody that comes back that's come back under 10 days, honestly. So you give me that stat and you give me the number of people that have flashed back, vaccinated or unvaccinated, faster than that time and tested out. Okay, we'll go from there. But, I mean, that's my team. That's my brother. We're going to support him. That's his decision, as I said way back in training camp when you guys asked me this question. So, yeah, unfortunately we're not having him, but I know he'll come back and be beneficial for us in the late part of the season.
What's the challenge when you don't have him, you don't know until Friday?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that is just an opportunity for other guys to step up and make plays. I mean, we've had different guys, including myself, go out week after week, and other guys have had to step in and make those plays. So, I mean, it's challenging when you're missing a guy like Amar, who's such a playmaker and dynamic, but we've got to be able to go out there and win without him.
Jack, when Aaron Rodgers was in a similar situation, the pundits like Terry Bradshaw called Aaron like selfish, I think is the word. Why is Amari Cooper in this situation not being selfish?
I mean, I never said Aaron was selfish, so I don't get where you're coming at with me, asking me that question. But that's my teammate and that's my brother. As I said, I'll continue to back him and support him. This is everybody's personal decision, so I'm leaving it there.
Denver, Vic Fangio said he had the blueprint. Did Kansas City follow a blueprint at all similar to Denver's, in your opinion?
No, we just didn't execute. I mean, Fangio went man, and I mean, obviously we beat that last week, and this team did as well. They're physical on the outside. They did a good job of that, but we've got to fight through that. We've got to make throws, make catches, and if we do that tonight, it's a whole different game.
We talked about missed throw earlier to Gallup. What happened there? It seemed like opening the game, you had to capture a big play.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, once again, that was the first play of the game. A lot of time has passed. I've got to go look at it. Maybe just didn't put enough air under that one, or maybe too much. Not really sure. I thought it came out of my hand smooth and just got away from it. So, yeah, missed opportunity.
There was a sack there. We're still got off late. Was that didn't hear you or crowd noise? What happened on that sack there? Was still kind of a little late.
I mean, once again, I haven't had a chance to watch the film and digest and ask everybody their thoughts and what went wrong on certain plays. So, just unfortunate, obviously.
Is this a time where a quick turnaround is a good thing?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I mean, we've got to turn the page, and we would have done this win or loss. Got to turn it quick. We got a good team coming in Thursday, so we've got to make sure we're getting our body and our minds rested and in the right spot to go out there and to bounce back.
When you look at how y'all rebounded from the Denver game to Atlanta, what can you take from that for today's game?
Yeah, I'm never worried about how this team's going to respond. As long as I'm a part of this team, quarterback of this offense, that's the least of my worries is how we're going to respond. As I said, this is a resilient bunch. These guys and their atmosphere got the best of us tonight. It's part of the game, and we'll be better because of it, though.
Jack, what does it say when you look on the field and you're without C.D. Lamb, you're without Amari, you're without Tyron? It's like, yet this team refuses to make excuses.
Yeah, I mean that's who we are. We went, as I said before, we went through everything we went through last year for moments like this, just to be able to move forward and for other guys to step in and take advantage of their opportunity. And that's where playmakers and that's where guys get better. And so we're going to have to continue to do that with guys being out. Thank you.
Dak Prescott with some fantastic answers, really stepping up, taking ownership, and then being really just an overall leader for a ball club after what was not the most pretty loss overall. We took all of his press conference there for a reason because QB1 had some great answers and a great perspective looking ahead to what is going to be a short week.
Yeah, that's your franchise quarterback, and he answered the questions exactly how he should have. I mean, they tried to make him throw Amari Cooper under the bus there, but he represented well. And he said, look, that's my brother. I'm going to have his back no matter what. That was his personal decision, and we're going to move forward. And that's how he answered it. That's how he should have answered it. Like I said, the game is a whole different thing. We're talking about something personally right there, and Dak did a great job of sticking up for his brother.
Man, boy, I tell you what, man, that dude could have played with us, bro.
That's it.
He handled his business, man. I mean, what you do behind closed doors, what you say to your teammates, that's one thing. But how you represent them in the public is another, because this team need to galvanize itself and learn what they've done on this loss and get better from that right there, not worry about what they can't control.
This is a long season. There's still 7 games left on the table, even after this one loss. And this wasn't against an NFC opponent. So you are still very much so in the race for the first round bye if you wanted to continue it on. But offensively, what's the number one thing that has to change in the next 4 days?
We got to get a little healthy. And I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that with Amari Cooper, but hopefully Tyron Smith is able to play next week, because we saw right there when that guy doesn't play, the trenches are under attack. I mean, Dak Prescott looked like he was running for his life for the majority part of that game, and we can't have that. So hopefully Tyron Smith is able to come back. If not, Terrence Steele, you got to get better at that left tackle. The right tackle got to get better, and definitely in the trenches, we got to get better.
We just got to get better overall. That's what Church tried to say. We do have to get better. We have to play more consistent. I think Coach Philman and Kellen Moore will make sure that happens.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a complete team effort to turn this around, because you do have the Raiders coming up on Thanksgiving, and it should be an interesting matchup there. When we come back, we shift our focus to the defensive side of the things, and we hear from Terrell Basham after a good day for the defense against Kansas City. Cowboys fall 19-9 on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. And despite the loss, plenty of positives on the defensive side of the football. Did not allow a passing touchdown to Patrick Mahomes. They did not allow a 100-yard receiver nor a 100-yard rusher. And a big reason for that was the play of the front seven. Let's hear from one of the members of the front seven, Terrell Basham.
Wanted to get your thoughts on obviously a disappointing outcome there for the game. Is it frustrating when the defense keeps holding Mahomes and that group down relatively well, but yet it just wasn't enough?
I mean, it's just what it is. We got to come out and we got to play a complimentary football game on both sides of the ball. Regardless if, they come out, they get a quick score on the defense, and then we start slowing them down. Regardless of the case may be, we got to be complimentary. We got to play off of each other. And when we get opportunities to make plays and opportunities to get ourselves ahead, we got to just not shoot ourselves in the foot. We're just not being on detail, not finishing plays, and penalties and stuff like that, So.
You played in Arrowhead before?
Yeah, this is my second time. I played here last year.
Can you describe the atmosphere? A lot of Cowboy fans too, but just describe the atmosphere, how electric it was there.
I mean, yeah, the atmosphere is always electric here in the stadium, which is definitely, you could say it gives them an advantage. But at the same time, you just got to come in with a neutral mindset, regardless of the atmosphere or who's watching you, how many fans you got in the stands. You got to just block all that out and focus on just doing your job one play at a time.
I don't know if you played Thanksgiving or a game before, but you definitely played Thursday games before.
Mm-hmm.
What's the toughest thing to do there? Is it one of those mind over matter? You got to just get it ready, get your body ready?
It's another week, it's another opponent. You just got to prepare for them as best as possible. Do your research, get a game plan together, and try to get your bodies ready to go out there and execute, turning around from a Sunday game going to a Thursday one.
Real quick, I think Mike got 3 sacks that made the Cowboys record. At least he tied it. You just talked about him playing off the edge today and just what he's been able to bring as a rookie.
Man, that guy is athletic, and the moment that you second guess on which way he's going to beat you, and he shows it consistently. I love playing with him. He makes everybody else's jobs easy, so can't complain about Mike out there.
Perfect. Thank you.
It's kind of what you got to talk about when this defense comes up throughout the week is the fact that they played well, held the Kansas City Chiefs to just 19 points. Here are the numbers. 3 sacks, 2 of those coming from Micah Parsons. They got in the face of Patrick Mahomes on multiple occasions, and they had the big-time plays as well. The forced fumble that was picked up off of a Micah Parsons strip sack, and then the interception for Jalen Kurtz. So, Barry, I ask you this. How did this defense impress you in a win like this? And is this something they could take into the short week ahead?
This defense definitely impressed me. I'm talking about the front seven. They were able to get after Mahomes. They were able to pressure this guy and kind of get him off his game. Usually Mahomes, he'll buy time and you'll see him unleash that long ball to Tyreek Hill or to Kelsey or someone like that. But even when he was moving around in the pocket, even when he was buying time for this offense, you had guys like Terrell Basham, Parsons, Dorrance Armstrong. They were chasing him down the entire time. It's like he didn't even have a chance to breathe out there. So this front seven to me played extremely well. And I believe this is the floor. This is the floor for these guys. Because when you get back Randy Gregory, when you get back a Tank Lawrence, I think the sky is the ceiling for these guys, and they're going to just improve and improve as they go on, and hopefully they improve at the right time when we can make this long playoff stretch. But I was extremely impressed with this front seven. They made things hard for Mahomes out there.
I agree with you, Barry. I wouldn't say it's the floor. I would say it's more sort of like the bar stool. Okay. So they're a little bit off the ground.
Yeah,
just a tad bit. And mainly because of the fact that these guys are still finding ways to make plays. I was highly impressed with how these guys negated the ability for Kansas City to have the big play. We didn't see that happen tonight. Kansas City normally has at least 4 or 5 highlights that you see on da-na-na, da-na-na. We didn't see any of those tonight. So that was first of all, they did a great job with that. Then our front seven was able to get some pressure. And then third of all, these guys had to make contested catches against this secondary. These guys were in the hip pocket of some of the most explosive dynamic receivers in this game. So kudos to them and Coach Quinn. Look forward to seeing what happens as we continue to get guys back.
I think as this film is reviewed throughout the week, I think you're going to really go back and say this is one of the best defensive performances of the season for the Cowboys, just knowing what they went up against, knowing the early parts of the game, and the way that Dan Quinn's defense was able to make adjustments and shut down the Chiefs in the second half. It's a shame the Cowboys offense never really got going, and when we come back here on Cowboys OT, we hear from Zach Martin on how the Cowboys can fix some things up front. Cowboys offensive line struggled mightily in the 19-9 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Zach Martin was on that offensive line that has really shifted around over the last couple of weeks. Here's what he had to say following the loss and how the Cowboys could have some improvement up front.
We can start by talking about the night for the offensive line. Was it one of the tougher ones you've had as a group?
Yeah, I think obviously we didn't, we didn't execute great up front. I don't think we did a great job of giving Dak time and letting him be comfortable back there. So that's on us, and we'll have to go look at the tape and have a short memory because we got a quick one coming around Thursday.
Was noise a factor tonight for you guys?
Not really. I didn't think it was, crazy loud. So that definitely wasn't a factor.
The sack was still obviously standing there, and I don't know if you can hear. It's not going to look like a period that might have been a noise issue.
Yeah, again, we're not looking for excuses for the noise. Obviously, we didn't execute good enough, and we'll be looking to fix that by Thursday.
Chris Jones has been a lot on the edge this season. Was he in the interior a little bit more than maybe you guys were expecting?
No, I think we expected him. Once they got Ingram, we expect him to be inside a little bit more, and obviously he had a big game tonight. He's a tough player to go against, and credit to him, he got after us.
What stands out unique?
Excuse me?
What makes him so unique amongst his tackles?
He's big. He's big, long, strong. He's 6'6", 6'7", can play with length. He's got good quickness. He's a good player.
Is that as good a group as you've gone against this year?
Yeah, I think I don't know if, I don't know how to compare them, but they definitely obviously had a big night. We got behind the sticks a few times, and they pinned their ears back and got after us a little bit.
With how explosive and efficient y'all have been this year, on a night like tonight, is there a mental aspect of kind of getting frustrated when it's not clicking for you?
Yeah, obviously, as the game goes, you just try to stay in there, take a drive at a time, and our defense did such a great job tonight. It was almost like, hey, we're right there, get a score, and we're in this thing, and we'll go down the stretch. So, again, our offense didn't hold up the end of the bargain. I think if you would have told us if our defense held them to 19 points, we'd have felt pretty damn good about that. So, we got to do a better job.
Were they just more physical than you guys were up front?
We got to watch the tape, but first glance, that probably wouldn't be the wrong thing to say. I think they did a nice job, came out. But again, we'll have to watch the tape and see.
How similar did they play you?
That one's not going to be a fun film study for the Cowboys offensive line. Nate, when you go back at it and you take a look at it, I know you're still looking off of your first initial impression on the Cowboys offensive line, but what is the biggest thing they need to fix?
Just consistency, having unity with playing together. Connor McGovern was a new face playing with Steele, and then with your center, he was a new face for them, so they didn't have no continuity. But when you have a guy like Chris Jones that you're facing, you have to be technique sound, and he kind of got on all our guys and disrupted their technique, and that hurt them dearly.
Yeah, I don't know much about sitting back and blocking guys up front. Now. I'm gonna leave that up to you. However, I do know that you have to be able to go back to your foundation, right? You have to go back to your basics. And when you're working with team in terms of offensive line, those five guys have to be in sync, all right, more so than the singers, okay? They got to be in sync. They got to be hip to hip. They have to be in the same wavelength in terms of communication. They have to be able to pass off stuff. Leverage is a huge part of being an offensive lineman, and we saw that just wasn't the case for us tonight. Jones and his party got underneath us and threw us around a little bit, and it resulted in Dak not being comfortable.
Now, I know this question is going to be asked here over the next 4 days. Do you like the decision to have Connor McGovern over Connor Williams, or do you switch it back to the initial offensive line, at least the front five, whenever Tyron Smith hopefully returns on Thursday?
You don't do that. You live with your decision. This kid played against an all-pro, Pro Bowl type player. He learned a valuable lesson today. We have another game here shortly. Let him digest that and go into the Las Vegas Raiders game. It takes more than one game to get that continuity, and it takes more than one game to come up and play against the big dogs. This is a different level for this kid.
Yeah, I think he took a chip out of WWE. It didn't matter, right? It really didn't matter. That guy, if he's doing that to your best offensive lineman, Martin, one of the plays we showed you guys earlier, he was going to do that to anybody that he went up against, including the Connor Bros.
Yeah, and he definitely had some success. Chris Jones was all over anybody. You broke it down earlier on the film. He just had one of those days where he was unstoppable. The Cowboys also didn't have all their horses on offense as well. CeeDee Lamb knocked out in the first half. No Amari Cooper. What did Michael Gallup have to say about being the last man standing in that Cowboys wide receiver room when we return with more Cowboys OT. No Amari Cooper this week in Kansas City. No CeeDee Lamb in the second half. No touchdowns for the Dallas Cowboys in the 19-9 loss to the Chiefs. Let's hear from Michael Gallup out at Arrowhead Stadium. He was targeted 10 total times and really was the main weapon toward the back end of the loss. But here are his thoughts.
Obviously, this is not the outcome you guys wanted in a showdown like this. Is there anything you can put your finger on, kind of what attributed to the offensive struggles today?
I mean, I don't know. Just a lot of stuff wasn't clicking for us. That's the best way I can put it. Not a whole lot there. Just wasn't clicking today.
Sometimes the first play of the game can set a tone for it all. I know Dak would probably want to have that one back. Can you walk us through that play?
So I was just, letting go. They gave us the coverage. It was just a little overthrown ball. It happens. I mean, that's what it is. But we knew we had it, so it's like, might as well take it. So.
You guys are a confident group at receiver. What changes, though, when, obviously losing Amari, losing and then CD at halftime of the game? I mean, how tough a blow is that, losing those two?
Man, folks just got to step up. That's all on us. We got to make those plays when they come to us, and we just didn't make a plays today. So that's on us. We'll take that.
You've had a few Thursday games, some Thanksgiving games. What's the biggest key on a short week like that?
Make sure you get your mentals right, especially after taking a loss like that. Make sure you come back and you got to move on. You got a game in, 3 days? So you got to move on.
Nothing official, but there's a chance those two guys could not play in the game. If that happens, how much confidence you have, not only in yourself, but Cedric and Noah and Malik?
I got all the confidence in the world in them. I mean, I've been saying it since day one. Those my boys. If they need to step in, they have, the whole season. That's what we need to go do. So that's what we're going to do.
Ready to get this game out of the way and go and move forward?
Of course. That's how it works, baby. Got to let it ride and then, move on to the next.
Awesome. Thanks for stopping for us.
Michael Gallup echoing what we heard from Dak Prescott earlier in the show. Moving on to the next one, but toward the end of that ball game, not a ton of time, not a ton of targets for Dak Prescott to throw the ball. Not a great combination if you're trying to get it done through the air.
It's not the combination you want, especially when your quarterback's back there with the twinkle toes because he has to stay on the move from opposing defensive linemen. So it just made it difficult. It was a difficult night. Dak wasn't as accurate as he wanted to be. When he was accurate, guys did drop the ball. I'm pretty sure that these guys wish they had a lot of these plays back. But as you saw, the confidence that Gallup has, those guys are going to be back next week ready to roll.
You played in a big time atmosphere today, man. You played against one of the better teams in the league, and you measured yourself, and you came up a little short. Learn from this. Understand that when that ball comes to you or you have opportunity to make a play, you have to make that play, and you have to do what's right for your quarterback sometimes.
Isaiah, really quickly here, if there is no Amari Cooper, which is a pretty strong case, and no CeeDee Lamb, which is definitely a possibility Thursday, are you worried about the offense?
I'm not worried, just simply because of our offensive coordinator, and we have other guys, but hey, guess what? Semi Fehoko, you better be stretching. Get ready to roll.
Malik Turner as well. He had a couple targets in this ball game as well. Cedric Wilson played dividends, and then also you talk about Dalton Schultz. He had 6 receptions, actually ended up as the leading receiver from the tight end position, so he is going to have a big role going into Thanksgiving. When we come back, we put this one in the rearview mirror and look ahead to the Raiders coming up this Thursday.
Cowboys OT was brought to you by Geico, 85 years of savings and service. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
Final segment here of Cowboys OT as the Cowboys fall on the road to the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning AFC champions 2 years ago, the Super Bowl champions, in a benchmark test for the Cowboys. Gone wrong on the road this week. They allow 370 yards to the Chiefs, actually took the ball away on a couple of occasions and won the third down conversion race. But overall, they lose the game, falling in this one 19-9 as we wrap things up here from the Star in Frisco alongside Barry Church, Nate Newton, Isaiah Stanback for the final time. I'm Kyle Yeomans, and Barry, we start with you. Make me feel better about this loss, okay? I was excited going into the game. I was really excited. Okay. This is a loss, but it's still just one in the loss column, and you still have a very good opportunity in a short week to get a win at home.
Well, yeah, I'll try to make you feel a little bit better. Please. Okay, defensively, I think we can definitely build upon this. I mean, you're talking about you're out with your two top dogs, Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence, and you still were able to generate pressure in back-to-back weeks against Atlanta and against Patrick Mahomes here in Kansas City. And this bend but don't break defensive style, it kind of worked today. I mean, he held, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and that potent offense pretty much under wraps. You gave your offense a chance to, or your team a chance to win this game. But offensively, we have got to get better in the trenches. We got to find a solid guard that can go in there and protect. And on the outside, we got to be better on them edges. Dak can't be running for his life if we want to make that long playoff push. So overall, get better on offense in the trenches. Defense, we can build upon this.
I agree with you 100%. We do have to get better in the trenches, and if we improve that right there, that's all you need to do. If we can keep our quarterback confident and throwing the ball right, I know these receivers are going to come back and do what they have to do, and they will be fine. Defense played well.
Go back, watch the film, really quickly. Look in the mirror. Don't say Beetlejuice, okay? Figure out exactly what you guys did wrong, okay? Evaluate yourself. You're going to have an evaluation that's given to you by your coach. You'll walk into the meeting rooms tomorrow. They'll slap a packet on there. It'll have every play that was called. Have a plus or a minus. Take that to heart. Make sure that you guys are being tough on yourselves and then throw it away and go on to your next opponent. You guys can respond. You're in control of how you respond to this game.
Outside of the loss for the Cowboys, this is a big day for Barry Church. When's the last time the defense severely outplayed the offense? And as a defender, the only defender in the studio, big day.
2016. I mean, that was the last time.
Since 42 was on the
42,
field.
the original.
Now, looking ahead a little bit, the Raiders do come up in a short week. What do the Cowboys have to do in order to turn things around? And what do they match up like with the Raiders?
I think they match up pretty well. I mean, this Raiders team, they've struggled a little bit as of late. I think defensively we can get after Derek Carr back there and make things hard for him. Offensively, they have some pass rushers for the Vegas Raiders. They have some pass rushers out there, so we're going to have to get better in the trenches. But overall, I think we have a good matchup against these Raiders.
I believe that. Our offensive line play well, we win the game. It's a short week. We can be physical with these guys. And as the clock beat down on the Las Vegas Raiders, we should be able to handle them.
AFC payback. That's all I got for you.
AFC payback, you got to find a way. Hey, the Broncos and the Chiefs are 2 of the 3 losses to the Cowboys. Their only NFC loss at the moment was the opening week matchup with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But they fall this time on the road at Arrowhead Stadium. 19-9 is the final score. Once again, thanks for joining us here on Cowboys OT. For Barry Church, Nate Newton, and Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeoman saying so long from the Star in Frisco. We'll see you on Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the week.